Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rebooked, the show where we talk about the big, meaty men and women who be slapping the meat in the middle of the ring and the stories they're telling in the process, brother. I'm, of course, GB. You have Matt. You cannot forget about Jake. And today, wait, don't, wait a minute, wait. Don't eat the El Gigante card, because we're going to talk about all the things that are happening in pro wrestling today. And thankfully for Jake, that El Gigante card is saved. His stomach is saved. It will be good, because we're going to be talking about Clash of Paris. We're going to be talking about what happened on Monday Night Raw, the main event of Clash of Paris, as well as what's going on with Trick Williams in the TNA World Championship. And then finally, we're going to talk about an emerging new main character. It's kind of been a main character for a while in AEW, but now it's taking a bit more of a center stage position. We'll talk about the Don Callis family and all the stuff that's happening there. But first, before we begin, Jake, you were right and I was wrong. That's just the facts. Because let's just jump right into it. Clash in Paris. We saw John Cena versus Logan Paul. I thought you'd give the win to Logan Paul because he's the person who's going to be there later. But it turns out, Jake, they believed you. They felt like it should have been John Cena. And to be fair, it was the right call.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm right. Let's move on. I mean, duh.
Wait. I just want to say,
the sun rose today. What else?
People voted for John Cena last week.
You did, but only one of you threatened to eat a cardboard card.
I don't have an El Gigante card in my possession, or I would have.
Is that whose fault is
buddy,
that?
I can send you one. I got plenty of them.
I don't. Is it worth the postage? I don't even know.
For the bit, it actually might be. That said, though, yeah, I mean, Clash in Paris. What do we think about it? What do we think of the show? I was working this weekend, so I didn't really get to catch it live. I saw a lot of the highlights. Matt, what'd you make of it?
Same. So I watched some of the matches back and everything kind of after the fact because I was working as well. But like on the scale of like, there's the I'm gonna make, actually, you know what? This is a brilliant idea. I'm gonna make the Twitter review scale of like the greatest thing I've ever seen, and this is wrestling, to like so-and-so jobber of a paper, this thing sucks. And it's always one or the other. There is no in-between in the scale. It warps from one end of the scale to the other.
It's true.
So like there were a lot of people calling it, a glorified Raw. I thought it was more than that, but I do think it was a glorified Saturday night's main event. It kind of felt like. Outside of the main event, which had a very interesting finish and wrinkle, which one we will get into. The matches were solid, except for the women's match. I was very disappointed in. But everything else was good. It was okay. But like not much movement or headline making stuff. You know what I mean? And wasn't a super packed card, which I'm okay with. But it felt kind of like a Saturday night's main event a little bit.
That's fair. Jake, was that your
vibe? Your
vibe too with it?
Yeah, that was pretty much how it felt to me. I mean, like it was kind of whatever.
I'm going to propose a question as a result of this, because hearing you guys talk about this and also hearing,
you can also ask it. You don't have to propose it.
I know. I feel compelled to propose. I feel quite compelled. So we know that WWE is very much in the business of chasing moments now, right? It feels like they like to make big moments happen.
I mean, that's the name of the game.
That is the name of the game.
They always have.
For sure. But I will say that there's kind of like for example, AEW was doing that for a super long time, where it was like, Tony Khan's got a big announcement, or this person's debuting, or whatever, right? Like big moments. And I'm not saying that because to what you were saying earlier, like the show was actually pretty solid from the matches I saw. Like Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch actually was a pretty good match. It was pretty enjoyable. Like all things considered,
same match.
I enjoyed it for what it was. Like it was nice to see. We didn't expect Nikki Bella to win. We never had that. And if anything, I was curious to see what kind of a match we'd get out of it with Becky Lynch kind of like in the driver's seat a little bit more. I don't know. I enjoyed it for what it was because I knew what it was.
Okay.
I knew what it was going to be. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is like, it just feels like everything has gotten so big that nothing feels big, right? Like they're like this show is a good example of it. Like this crowd was insane. This crowd was hot. Like, I mean, the AJ Styles moment on Monday Night Raw was just utter insanity, man. Like the people were losing their ever living shit for the guy, right? And you can feel the energy in the room, but like it's clear that the matchups and what they're building isn't matching where they're going in these locations. You know, like you like it was a fun match, but you gave Paris a venue that you're only going to go to here and there. You gave Paris, unfortunately, a decent Intercontinental Championship match when it should have been a fucking incredible Intercontinental Championship match. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like when you're in an event, in an venue like that.
Isn't that kind of up to the people in the ring, though, a little bit? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe instead of just like the way it's scheduled. I mean, I understand that, like, obviously, yes, there's certain things that they're going to have them do and whatever, but like,
I mean, the finish is like, I mean, they're not going to, it's Raw, it's TV. We packed a lot of stuff in. You're probably not going to go 20 minutes uninterrupted in an Intercontinental title match. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a tough question. And I get where you're coming from. I think there's an argument to be made with the huge kind of push they've made into international markets, not even just doing like a huge pay-per-view. They're doing TVs along the road to WrestleMania. You know what I mean? They're going to be doing it again on the road to the Rumble. They've announced that already. There's going to be TVs in Germany. So like France was a neglected market. I never even wrestled there one time in my 8 years there. But I know some tours would do like a stop in Paris for a house show. But already they were there last year for Backlash. They were there this year again doing TV and pay-per-views.
It is normalized now. So this is just, they should just deal with the same shows that Wichita would get.
Yes. Kind of in a way, this is the tip of the spear, I think, of what TKO wants to do with it. And it make it less of a 95% America and, a special tour here, once a year, which they used to do.
Yeah.
We're doing, Lord have mercy on the talents. And we saw a little bit of it with like the Saudis that they would do like European, then back to the States for TV. Then they did Saudi, then back to the States. And then they were in Japan. Like it's going to be a lot of that, but I think they're trying to make it more, it's not normal yet.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think they're trying to make it of like, we can do these all over. We'll go with local time. Raw was on at 3 p.m. here in the US or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like we're just going to go live in these markets and make this a more international product. So the idea is, well, normally, you would, for a jam-packed international house, you would book a Mania or some, what did they call the one in Super Showdown? Yeah. You would call it like
WrestlePalooza
or some WrestlePalooza, something like that, right? And Clash in Paris, you would think. But like, they're just, I think, just peppering their schedule. It could be a B pay-per-view, a C pay-per-view, just a set of TVs. But those markets, it's all good for them because those markets, until the last year, have been starved. And so they're showing out in force. So it's good. It looks good that, hey, look at this. Even a regular Monday Night Raw, we had 20,000 people in here going, so it's all good. So I think they're trying to normalize that.
I think in the initial, it sounds good. But I think for me, what I do get a little like, what happens then when people are like, it doesn't really, it doesn't feel that exciting anymore, to go like, maybe it never does. I don't know.
So you think of it the same way it is when it's over here.
Yeah.
They still get thousands of people to show up to Raw, even at our lowest times in business, when you did have to tarp off parts of the hard cam and everything like that. They still, even Raw and SmackDown have always drawn a couple of thousand at the worst. At the worst of times, there were thousands of people showing up in every city every week.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
That's it. I mean, it always ebbs and flows. So these international crowds are going to be hot no matter if it's SmackDown or if it's a big pay-per-view with everybody on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it might normalize over the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that insight I think definitely is awesome to have, and I think kind of, I mean, it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but I think it's more like, I think that's why the conversation online had been so odd, because I did feel like a lot of people were like, oh, this was just a show that you could have missed and it would have been fine. And I do feel like, yes, normalizing it makes sense, but then, hey, that's capitalism. I mean, ultimately,
right now it does, because you're like, man, this crowd is crazy. Why aren't we doing Mania here? You know what I mean? Like, it has that level of energy. But the idea, I think, is, again, never did TV or anything in like a Paris. You were lucky if they got a house show once a year, usually every other year. So I think now you're going to start seeing European TVs at least twice a year. It's from the seeming sound of it. You know, either a Rumble or Mania time, and then again in like the fall. So, I mean, that's TV in addition to some special house shows and stuff like that. They might, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2026 they made their return to like Japan. They do a Tokyo Raw and SmackDown kind of loop. They're going to go back to Asia, maybe India. You know what I mean? Like, this is an aggressive.
How's Logan going to go?
Carefully.
I don't think he'll go to Japan. He ain't going to be there. I'll tell you that much. No, but that's some awesome insight. And I think that kind of sets us up, for a fun conversation for what actually happened at Clash in Paris. Because even though the show was, overall like okay, for the most part, there were some fun moments without a doubt. Like in Sheamus Rusev was a brutal matchup without a doubt. A lot of mate. So, people enjoyed that. You had Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. Did not agree that Bronson lost, but it's okay because he ended up flattening him like a pancake. And then, because of that, I'm assuming Roman's going to be gone for a little while. So, as per Roman these days, which is perfectly fine. He's earned it.
Probably going to go film Street Fighter, I would imagine.
Who's he playing in that? Is he playing like M. Bison, or is he?
I don't know. If he wasn't in 1 or 2, I don't know the name of the characters.
You keep talking. I'll pull it up.
Akima or something like that.
Akuma. Yeah. Akuma.
Wait, he's playing Akuma?
Supposedly, yes.
What?
It's not still not confirmed, but that's
this movie is gonna suck. This movie is gonna be really bad, and I think as a result, it might actually be good. It's gonna if they lean into it. Here's what I think they're doing. Sorry to go on the aside here, but because I love the Street Fighter movie. Me and
Van
my
Damme?
wife. Yes, I love that movie. It's so bad, but I love it. It's
dude. Raul Julia.
Raul Julia was incredible in that movie, though.
He's like a legit actor, dude. Yes. He is like in
and that was his last role.
I believe also Puerto Rican man.
He died after that.
Yeah.
Or international. He was like a respected actor.
Theater actor.
He did it because one of his kids was like
Street Fighter.
Yes, you should go play in Bison, and he was like, okay.
And he was honestly, it must have been like the easiest work for him ever. Like truly, because my guy was delivering lines like a champion. The one that Jake said, for you, it was the most devastating event of your life. Yeah. For me, it was Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
And I've used that line so many times and so long. So anyway, if they make the movie intentionally bad, like the way that the Street Fighter, they unironically made it bad, maybe it could work.
Lean into the cheese.
Yeah, like kind of like Naked Gun-ish, you know what I mean? Like just lean into it a bit more. Because no world are you believing that Roman Reigns is Akuma, man. He's a Japanese martial artist, for goodness sake. It just, that's amazing. That's going to be so bad. I'm totally down. Thankfully, though, what wasn't bad was actually what happened at the end of the Fatal 4-Way. That's a segue. Because we had Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight face off against each other. And Jake, we finally found out actually, I don't think she's a member of the Vision, but we know that she does care about her husband, because Becky Lynch showed up and hit CM Punk with a low blow just as he was about to claim the world title. There there were some notable lines, Jake, that I want to get your thoughts on, right? Seth said, "I hate you and your stupid family." It's very, very loudly said multiple times. And then, of course, Michael Cole hit him with a great line. "You know what they say, Wade? Behind every man is a great woman." As Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch stood over the corpse of CM Punk after he was holding his midsection. What did you think of that whole sequence? How it all played out? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts?
Well, there is what you call in storytelling foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's being ham-fisted. And that's what I would say all this was. This is clearly all going to a return of AJ Lee.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes.
If it's not, that would be a
Someone floated the theory that it was going to be AJ coming out, but that Rhea Ripley will be the one to actually be in the match.
There's a lot of I feel like it's
or here, let me propose this. Here we go. You ready? AJ Lee's music hits, and out walks Travis Scott.
Just put up the Scorsese meme.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was ham-fisted. I will definitely say that much. There were some reasons given on Monday Night Raw. They had a promo. Punk and Becky Lynch. Becky came out to Seth's music, firmly establishing what this whole situation is. And then they have their conversation where effectively she says that the problem she has with CM Punk was that they were chanting his name during her matches one too many times. And that was problematic for her. And then obviously he constantly insulted, her husband and stuff, and which I think is actually more of a fair one, to not like someone about. I mean, newsflash, real life guys, if you insult someone's partner, the other person might not like you. I don't know how that works, but
yeah,
I don't know. It depends on if there's some truth to what they say, I suppose.
Shut up. Oh, what are you gonna say, Matt? Sorry.
No, I did kind of. I mean, I guess it's just adding another layer on top of it. I mean, but to your point, there's already enough there that it was like you had a really well-made sandwich and you put another little piece of Kraft cheese on top of the sandwich.
We're back to the sandwich analogy. I love it.
What kind of sandwich?
A little bit, yeah.
But don't use cheese as you want more. I mean, more cheese is sure.
But a Kraft single.
Wait, would you say more cheese or more meat on a sandwich? Cheese? What is your what are we? I'm more of a more meat guy than more of a cheese
lettuce. This is lettuce. This is back to they've added lettuce.
Yeah, it's roughage. It's not really affecting the overall structure of the sandwich. It doesn't add anything.
They added a wet tomato. You know
what? Yeah,
no, tomato has a big effect on the viscosity and the moisture of.
If you can see through the tomato,
sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the point being is
toothpick. You're literally in the top of the sandwich. That's what it is.
Yes, true. You've terrorized her husband's life, and she's already a cantankerous heel herself. So it's our whole family is against you, Punk. We hate you. We didn't need to be 6 years ago people were chanting Punk which they were during everybody's matches. I was there when they were chanting CM Punk just because people wanted to see him return to wrestling, and then AEW had happened and they still wanted him to, I don't know, they were still cheering it and stuff like that. But it would happen periodically, but it's such a weak little thing to stand on and add in. And it was okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away. It just seemed like a weird thing to add.
Maybe this is leading to something bigger. What I'm hoping that this is going to is Rue versus Larry.
The dog.
Yeah.
The dog. Yeah.
Versus their child.
Versus their child. What a matchup.
How would we organize
this? Because that dog
generational trauma.
That dog's barely hanging on as it is. I think that's a fair fight. Larry looks like Poppins on It's Always Sunny. That's how he just kind of like put his eye back in every now and then. He's eating out of the trash. Drank a quarter pint of Pennzoil off the ground.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
But look, so it's very clear this is not Becky joining the Vision or anything like that. At least that's not how it came off to me. Right.
Which is kind of a bummer. I wish there were more intergender.
Yeah, I like it when Judgment Day. I like the way the Judgment Day is, very intergender faction that has like a ton of interactions, that were like
across storylines.
Yeah, exactly. Like multi-people tag matches where, that involves everyone. Like I like that stuff. I think it'd be cool. But there was, the moment of Becky Lynch just flat out aggressively assaulting CM Punk multiple times over and over and over again, trying to get Punk to do something about it. And he did not engage, which kind of leads you to believe, So, and there was another thing that happened. I forgot to mention that. There was a little backstage promo where CM Punk had asked Adam Pearce, hey, where's SmackDown next week? Because, we don't really care about the brand split that much anymore, only when it's applicable. And he said, it's in Chicago, your backyard. Literally the words Adam Pearce said. And then Punk said tremendous and then walked away. Yeah. So, I mean, that's basically it. It's very clear this is leading to a tag match for Punk and AJ Lee versus Rollins and Becky.
It would be funny if AJ Styles came out. It's like, AJ, you want to give me a hand? And everybody goes crazy. And they don't want one. That would be amazing. That would be hilarious.
Only things that really kind of, I don't want to say take me away from this. I don't think it's like that big of a deal, unless it leads to a singles match down the line, is I really hope that this doesn't ice the women's intercontinental title for a bit, because what the hell happens with Bayley and stuff? Maybe we get a little bit of more progress with her, story, right? Maybe more vignettes. Did we get another one? I haven't had a chance to check.
I don't think so.
Right? So I don't know. We'll see. But it overall better than nothing. Or were you fine with where the Vision direction was headed? Like I guess that's my thing here. Does this help or hurt? I don't know. The world title storyline.
I think it helps, and people may not like that because there's a lot of people who don't like Seth and Becky. I do.
I think love
they're
them.
both
I think they're amazing,
talented, and I think they're really entertaining as heels. And so, like this is one of those attraction matches. Like clearly, the return that it's fun. I don't think it's a long-term thing. I don't think AJ's coming back. I think it's coming back for this is probably WrestlePalooza, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
If probably. Not, maybe whatever the next pay-per-view is. You know what I mean? So I think it's a fun pit stop on this Seth Punk thing, which again is already so far down its road. I don't know when it's
Has that ran its course for you, or is this now kind of reignited it? A little bit.
This gives it it gives it a little jump. Again, it's not like a mind blowing, but it's like, that's cool. I like AJ. I like Becky. I like all of these players. It's fun to intermix their personal lives a little bit, to rub up against that kind of reality thing. And it'll be an exciting moment. You know what I mean? So that's cool. I love stuff like that. Sometimes you just talk about giving people moments. Sometimes you do. You just give it to them. It'll be fun. Hopefully it'll be kind of quick and done and exciting.
Yeah.
And it'll give Punk, I think, a much needed win outside of a title scenario. A big, because he's lost a few now since the whole SummerSlam debacle.
Yeah.
So it gives him a little punch in the arm. But the thing is, I don't know where this ends, because I don't think you can carry this to Mania.
Punk's going to win the Rumble probably.
Oh my God, do you think we're going?
I think we're
Seth,
going
though, like back and forth that far.
Yeah, I think they could. Like they'll do the main event. Like they'll do the thing. I don't know. Maybe.
They need to get away from each other then in the meantime.
Yeah.
I mean, we have War Games coming up.
Yeah.
Sure. In just a few months, I could see something happening there.
Yeah. I mean, it will be the Vision for sure.
Sure.
It could very well end up being the Vision versus the Bloodline for War Games, if I had to imagine. But instead of CM Punk, it'll probably be like LA Knight or something like that. Because Jimmy Uso came back and he's with Jay.
Yeah.
And they're feuding.
I think it might be like
Bronze.
Jimmy, Jay, LA, and Roman.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Those four.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe we get Seth versus Roman for the title eventually. I think that has to happen, right? Roman's got to make a play for it.
There's a thought that maybe that's Mania. So maybe you finish up Punk and Seth, but if Punk doesn't get the title, a lot of things feel moot then. In his story, in his quest,
especially with how much emphasis they put in that whole like he's main eventing of WrestleMania, but he didn't do it.
And then he won
a
world title again, and it was immediately taken. So you have to like pay that off.
You have to pay off that cash in.
Yeah. Especially with it being, it's not like a random Money in the Bank winner cashing in on him, and it's like nuts. It's a longtime rival. It's super personal.
Yeah.
Right. Because sometimes when it's a random person, they can kind of just win the title and get away story wise. You know what I mean?
Literally, like what happened with Naomi. That was just random out of nowhere.
You just pivot away from the person you took it from, and they just apparently don't care anymore about the world title. But like this way, you can't. So you have to pay that off from a character standpoint. So I don't know if it's knowing them that they'll try to do. They're going back to the same place. Maybe we'll have the same damn match, but now for the title. You know what,
bro? I think it could be. You were saying Roman and Seth, but why not just do the triple threat again, but this time for the title? They proved that once in a lifetime means diddly squat. Okay, so like
it's literally that play. You did Rock
once
and
in
Cena,
a month's
you do it again for the title.
Yeah.
That said, though, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not bothered by that. I'm honestly not bothered by it.
Dude, I will preach this till the world comes home, especially in wrestling, but in all entertainment. Anything can work.
Yeah.
If it's executed and written well.
Yeah.
It can. Yeah. Luke and Darth Vader can face off as many times as you want if that story is well told in between.
I mean, that's how you got that much work out of Batman and the Joker. You know what I mean? How many
if it's
stories
the same old crap, then people are going to be unenthused.
They'll have good characters too.
That's true. Yeah. Which I will say,
it'd be funny.
We have 3 good characters here, so it's not the worst thing. You know,
no,
it's not.
And so the year they did Rock and Cena rematch twice in a lifetime for the title, The Rock had he beat Punk at the Rumble.
Yeah.
To get the title and go on a run. So it's not The Rock.
How mad I was that day. Yeah.
Dude. I remember that was the time I met The Rock because we built him the ring for him to train in and film all those vignettes in.
Oh, no way. That's crazy.
Yeah. The FCW people. So, but what if it was a similar, they literally are copying and pasting and they have Punk win the title at the Rumble in a big match, carry it into Mania, but these 3 get tornadoed together again. They go round 2. I don't know, maybe Punk wins again. I don't know.
Well, no, Punk didn't win the triple threat, right? He won.
Oh no, he didn't.
Roman.
He didn't.
No, Seth won the triple threat.
Maybe that's right because of the whole double cross.
So it kind of does come full circle if Punk were to win it. You know,
he now not only is in the main event again, now he wins the main event with the title.
Yeah,
his story is complete, and then he gets shot in the head on Monday. Old Yeller stuff.
Brock Lesnar or something
by Sami Zayn.
That
becomes the biggest heel in the business.
Yeah, bro, that would win me back in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? I'd take a evil Sami Zayn. You know, maybe he'll paint his beard like dark or whatever, so you can be like a multiverse version of him. I don't know. I'm in. Just sign me up.
Just a mustache.
Just the mustache. That's it. We got confirmation that in a very hyper dramatic piece from our lovely general manager, Adam Pearce, that I guess women's world title match at WrestlePalooza would be Stephanie Vaquer, who won a battle royale for the #1 contender spot, and Io Sky, who was the person that was going to fight for the title, which we all kind of knew that was coming, and that will be happening at WrestlePalooza. This video, though, was great. It had like the music in the background. It was like the inspirational quote music, you know? It was like, dun, 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 dun. And he was like, and now we're going to talk about, and I was like, I'm in, dude. You signed me up. Sell me some insurance, please. So yeah, we have that. And then, and I just want to close on this. We caught a little bit of it. You guys had seen a little bit of it. I saw the whole thing. I couldn't help myself laughing the whole time.
It was good.
So the New Day got what can only be described as just an unlimited time slot to just do whatever they wanted to do. And what they decided to do was hold a funeral for the tag team division on Monday Night Raw. And I gotta say, all things considered, when you think about how WWE have treated tag team wrestling in recent months, especially, knowing all three of us know Woods, and we all three of us know that Woods genuinely loves tag team wrestling. It is like it's like a core value of his. Okay, like I remember having this conversation with him at G4 very vividly. All this very much hits quite nicely, but then there were just all these other funny quips and lines and moments. But Matt, we were talking about this and we were saying like they had to have just let them go and then see what the hell came out of it, because this was 12 minutes of television.
Yeah,
for a
almost 13.
Yeah, segment. Yeah, like the equivalent. It's an edited feature, but the equivalent of like a backstage. It's not even an in-ring segment. An in-ring promo you might expect with entrances and everything, 10 minutes. Sometimes the opening one's like 20 minutes. But like just a pre-taped, like edited shot, short. Normally these things are 2 minutes. Those Bailey ones we've been seeing, they're 90 seconds, 2 minutes, maybe 3. This is like a full commercial to commercial segment time. 12 minutes. And that's a longer segment too. Because I see how these get broken down. Most segments are anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes.
Cut.
Yeah.
Sitting on the floor somewhere where they were like, guys, it can't be 22 minutes. That's a full episode of a half-hour television
they
show.
could very well have like 30 minutes of just content of them just riffing. Because when I like working with Woods at G4 because he could riff very well. Like he was like always, he had a silly quip for everything. If you ever wanted to like banter with him, especially on camera, it would always work out, and it was always entertaining. So I can only imagine that they just have like 35 minutes of them just going, and they cut down the best parts to make it narratively make sense. One of those narrative bits I do want to cover before we get into the funny stuff was Kofi and Woods were talking about E's whole the departure from the team, but they were talking about how the Judgment Day don't really care about friendship. Knowing Jake, what we've seen from New Day, that has to be some foreshadowing, man. That's got to be some light foreshadowing, or am I reading too much into it?
I think you might be reading too much into it. It's just more blatant hypocrisy. From New Day. Much to
they
my
showed
delight.
The footage though of them turning on E and stuff like that in it. So they did lean on it again. The big E that everyone needs to worry about, as Kofi said, is efficiency. And I don't really know what that has to do with the titles, but it was too good.
But I'll take it.
Oh my God.
They were talking about how they laid down the foundation and the fertilizer for the tag team division. And then I got to learn a little bit more about different types of grass, like zoysia. I didn't know what zoysia was until
you don't know about that zoysia.
Uncultured swine.
I don't know about that zoysia, bro. That ass. I have no idea what it is, but we learned. What is it? It was
It is a type of lawn grass similar to what you would have here, but it is native to the Asian continent.
Okay.
Off the Pacific, specifically in the Pacific
APAC
Ocean region.
like that. Like, okay.
So like the point being, I believe here domestically in America, it would be very more premium. You know, you'd have to have it imported in or seeds brought in from across the world and watered very carefully. Very gently.
Yeah.
You know, installed
tend to it.
and tended. Yes.
Yeah. You know, they put that work in.
It's not that crabgrass y'all got in front of your houses. That's right.
But the thing is, they didn't just stop there.
Sucker for Bermuda grass myself. I mean, like if we're going Bermuda grass, that's
all right. Tell me the 5 places where you can find Bermuda grass right now. Just go for it.
Well, it's not American, but it was introduced to America. Australia, New Zealand,
they got that crap everywhere.
You guys are the worst. Now,
Bermuda grass.
They're also they did go after the Judgment Day and talk crap about them, you know, and how they were barely defending the titles and stuff like that. I don't really know. Judgment Day have to be one of the most confusing, nebulous factions in the world of professional wrestling, because what the hell are they? Like, no one knows. They're clearly bad guys, but yet
they're the Judgment Day.
They're the people, the bad guys hate them. So I don't know how much that matters, but at the very least, Woods was correct when he called out one of the core issues of the Judgment Day, which is that they be using ranch dressing for their nugs, and that is disgusting. We can't do ranch. It's blue cheese, or if you hit the Sweet Baby Ray's,
that's ridiculous.
It's one or the other. You can
say I'm a bad wrestler.
Do you have a problem with ranch?
I do have a problem with ranch. I do.
Yes, Jake.
Okay,
preach, Jake.
We're talking about
preach.
We're talking about practice.
Ranch with fried chicken of any kind. Are you kidding me?
Blue cheese.
It is a match.
Better. Blue cheese, if chicken wings
cheese
is better.
Off with your blue cheese.
And for nugs, I'll only do barbecue or honey mustard.
You know what this ranch dressing is missing? Bacteria. Yeah, let me get some fucking bacteria in this ranch dressing. That is blue cheese.
Nature.
Nothing.
Okay.
I want chunks in this sauce. Go to hell with your blue cheese dressing.
Wingstop ranch dressing
is liquid gold.
No,
it is liquid gold.
You guys are crazy.
And there's a reason legendary, because it dips with your chicken and it makes your chicken go oogly googly and your tumbly wumbly. And it's amazing.
Okay. You know what? I've realized I'm surrounded.
On the New Day just to fight over chicken.
I realize 100%. I'm surrounded. I realize I am surrounded. I concede. Literally, actually. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Listen,
it just means
order of preference goes ranch, honey mustard, barbecue sauce. That is the preferred.
No,
that's the order. Yes, it is.
No. I put barbecue in second, but
where does the Polynesian sauce go?
Buffalo sauce.
Polynesian sauce goes to Polynesia.
That belongs in the conversation.
That's at the bottom of the list of any list.
Crazy.
That's
great. Of course,
I put literally.
I'm sorry. Are we in Polynesia right now? Are we in Polynesia or are we in America?
I put ketchup before Polynesia.
And you know what? And you know what ranch is called in other countries? American dressing.
Yeah, because no one likes it. They label that
because it was invented here.
Because they want to avoid it, Jake. They label it American so they can avoid it. Source all of my European friends. No.
We invented ranch dressing and we invented freedom. What did anyone else invent? Thank you very much.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'll be sure to check out Freedom today at Alligator Alcatraz live and in person. Oh, that was amazing. I love all of this.
Chick-fil-A sauce. Chick-fil-A sauce is good shit.
Chick-fil-A sauce is
enjoy
okay.
That.
It's a shame that the company is terrible.
Zaxby's sauce. You heard Zaxby's? It's not really in this part of the country, but
I've had some Zaxby's.
I've had Zaxby's once. I don't remember the sauce, but I've had Zaxby's. Tell us your favorite sauce in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you, and also let us know. And also let us know why it's blue cheese. Okay, that's the most important thing.
Hashtag sauce it. Shout out JR.
Are we good? We're gonna move on.
I make my own barbecue sauce.
You do,
and that's good shit.
Wait a minute, you do, and it is actually incredible. So I will say, for me, Jake's barbecue sauce is definitely number one.
Because
I think
Baby Jake's.
Sweet Baby Jakes. And let me tell you, it was delicious. It was really good. All right, moving on, though. Enough of the sauce chat, okay? We can go on for days with that. Let's go ahead and yap more about pro wrestling. We got
and ketchup's a last resort.
Stop it, okay? Stop it. Let's talk about TNA. We're in Matt's neck of the woods now, so we had some stuff happening this week, some interesting things. One of the we'll go through some of the smaller stuff first, but there was a thing with Danny Luna, actually, a little promo where she had talked about her attacking Indy Hartwell, and just kind of like, I just think you need more good, solid bad guys, and the Spitfire crew splitting up in those directions. Perfect. Good. I like this. Curious to see what she does with it. Matt, she seems bitter and frustrated and stuff. So I wanted to keep building on that, right?
Yeah, 100%. And it's not anything revolutionary character wise. But I think for Danny in TNA, we've only ever seen her as a kind of white meat babyface, mainly in a tag team. And I like Danny a lot. I think she brings a lot to the table. I think this is a good step. I think the Knockouts division was hurt a lot over the last year between losing people like Trinity and then losing Jordan. And a lot of it was relying on kind of, how do I say it? It was just like undercard NXT people coming in to kind of pad the division. But we've added some names over the last few months, and then we've made changes like this. And it's a slow start, but like now we're building up more personalities within the Knockouts division. And what I like is both here, we have a new Danny Luna, we have Indy Hartwell, who now has a Knockouts World title match in her back pocket, a new champion in Ash. Masha's still looking at the title. But then also the tag team division is getting pretty robust on its own between the Elegance brand and the Inspiration. And then you still do have Fatal Influence coming in from NXT. And you have our Mila Grace and Harley Hudson. And there's a lot of transition in the Knockouts division in a good way.
Yeah, I agree. That's how I feel about the whole thing as well. And seeing this, I was just like, I wanted to talk about it because I'm like, oh, this is just, more of what the doctor ordered for the division. Even though like it was a bit of a, sudden change, JC Jane doing something so historic, but then just losing it, like rather quickly. We thought it would at least go until Bound for Glory, maybe Victory Road, but no, instead it just happened at NXT Heatwave. But it wasn't like a bad thing. I don't think it was a bad thing. I'm happy about it because Ash is awesome and the Elegance brand is awesome, and it's only going to push that team further. You need more of that. The system did a lot of really good stuff, as a men's faction, in TNA, and I think the Elegance brand can do a lot of really good stuff as a strong women's faction in TNA. So all positives across the board. But Jake, that wasn't it. That wasn't it at all, because we had some other stuff happen. We ended up seeing a lawyer appear. Trick Williams' lawyer showed up to TV to let everyone know that he can't defend the title for 50 days, which it seems
and
like
this was I will point out, this was also after Mike Santana pinned.
I was going to say,
Trick
but yes,
Williams.
you got that's perfect, exactly.
Because I believe, do I have my order correct? The lawyer talk was at the end of the show.
Yes,
the tag match was at the start of the show. So so like Trick Williams was all up in a heap that night, all worked up. And all right, fun TV magic that I don't remember if we edited out of the show, but I remember when I saw it as written, some behind the curtain. After Trick loses, there's a backstage where he's talking with his lawyer. I think they made it work. I think he just says, get here, because we gotta tell them something, right? But as it was written, I believe it originally said, get on a plane and get here.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, and then like 45 minutes later, he was supposed to like be there in the arena. And I remember reading it and I'm like,
No, he definitely didn't say get on a plane. I believe it was just get there. Yeah. That would have been great.
I was having a chuckle with that.
And then I'm like, well, in that case, this lawyer must be incredible because he owns the fastest plane in the world. In which case,
well, unless we were in that was when we were still in Baltimore. So like, I mean, maybe he's DC based.
Could be a DC,
and he's got a little puddle jumper that he just hops in.
That's amazing. But yeah, I mean, this is so. Trick's trying to get away from defending the title, but it's clear Mike Santana is going to get his opportunity. Jake, where do you think this is going to be just kind of more like Trick dodging? Do we see Trick maybe lose a little bit more leading into Bound for Glory? What would you like to see happen with Trick Williams and Mike Santana as we get ready for this big event?
Yeah, I want to see him nervous. I want to see him nervous and scared. I mean, this is the first time we've really seen Trick, like, honestly, like a little scared.
Yeah,
he's been all about like, no one's taking this title off of me, and now he needs a lawyer to get involved, a paper pusher to get involved. I mean, come on, Trick. Like, but that's fun. That's what I want to see more of. Like, he's very nervous because I think he realizes, like, look, Bound for Glory. That's the TNA event. Like, that's a huge stage. That's a huge event. A lot of pressure. It's an away game for him, essentially. Like, there's a lot riding on this. And I think the pressure's getting to Trick. And I want to see more of that. I want to see, like, does he get his first class goons to go, try to rough up Santana a little bit, and then that doesn't work, or like, I just want to see him. I want to see him try thing after thing after thing, and Santana is able to fight all these off.
Yeah,
and take all these off, and then Trick has no choice but to face him at Bound for Glory, and where it's just going to be a one-on-one, just a one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, and what I liked about this segment, as much as it very much was a kind of old school, right? The lawyer, right? We've seen this. It's a very kind of silly, over the top.
Joe Hendry played a lawyer for Rusev and Rusev, right?
Yeah. But that said, to your point, both of you, like, I mean, Trick has been Trick NA. He's been confident. Even, all of his stuff has been underhanded, but super cocky heel, right? This is all about me. I beat everybody. I beat Joe. I beat Elijah. I beat Mike Santana. Moose. I beat both of them. I beat Moose now. Dude, it's all about me. And so then in the span of a week, he not only, thanks to Mike Santana, because remember, before Heatwave, they were having a number one contender match between Trick and Javon Evans.
Right.
And Mike Santana showed up, and nothing more than just a little, I'm watching you. And it cost Trick the match, and cost Trick a chance at holding two titles with the NXT title. And then the next week on TNA in a tag match, got pinned by Mike Santana.
Yep.
So Trick came out here, he's all frazzled. The armor is off. That's why he grabbed the lawyer and everything. So we're seeing him start to unravel, and I'd like to see more of that too, of even just mind games from Santana, of like, I've got you beat every little way. Like, I'll visit you on your turf. You don't want to defend the title here or whatever. And you're gonna run away.
He had him beat once in NXT as well. He almost had him beat, and then First Class showed up, and that's kind of like.
And he had him beat at Slam.
Yeah, he had him beat at Slam as well.
He literally threw Mike off the cover and won off of Mike's spin the block.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that. And I mean, I think, I don't know if they pointed it out in the promo, but yeah, so 50 days is the rule now, according to the Trick Williams contract. But from his last defense, which was Emergence, Baltimore.
Yeah. And that would be past Bound for Glory, isn't it? No.
From the promo, yes, but from his last defense at Emergence, Oh, it's just in time.
Oh, really?
So prepare. I don't think I'm spoiling any feathers here, but prepare to have that made very much official very soon.
Yeah, we're excited. That's going to be a great match because all things considered, like they've had some great chemistry in the ring, like for two guys from two different companies with different backgrounds and training and all that stuff. Like they actually are really good. And I enjoy Mike Santana and Trick's encounters so far. What I would like to see happen is like, Mike Santana comes out, the whole audience, the crowd, everyone's on his side. They're ready for this. But Trick is still trying to fight this battle. He's still trying to like not walk out, not take this fight. He's like, nope, I'm not doing this. Like, I want to see Trick try to run away from this thing until the last second where he literally cannot, and he's got to go and face the music. That's what I would like to see happen. I think that could be cool.
Dude, that would be like, I don't know. It's WWE is protective of their characters, which I get, and he's not our character.
His character, though.
No, I think so too. I know, but I'm just, if you're as another company, they're going to be extra protective. But I think that is high entertainment value. And can you imagine a world where, like, at Bound for Glory, First Class gets kicked out of the building because we know they're going to interfere or something, so Santino kicks them out. Trick is looking for he's faking an injury. He's pretending to be sick, but to your point, can you imagine if the whole like babyface roster literally carries him out to the ring?
So good. Every time he tries to run away, right? He exits out the door. Steve Macklin's waiting there with the international title. Stop. Don't you dare. You're not leaving this building. He tries to run another way. Eric Young's there just to stop him as well.
Match.
Dude, a lumberjack match would be amazing. I would love that. That would be also. I also love lumberjack matches, but that would be really, really cool. And it will allow everyone to kind of have their opportunity to take their shot, and to have that moment. But like you said, it's WWE. They could be protective of it. But man, if you want to think about, to me, if you really do value this relationship of TNA, WWE, right? Like, and you want to make TNA a competent, like big promotion alongside, what you have offered here. If that's like the stated goal from what we've seen from behind the scenes, whatnot. We don't, like I said, we don't talk about those things, but it is important to note. I think that you gotta give that layup. You gotta make that presentation known, and I think that would be a really cool way to just establish Mike Santana as the man in TNA. But either way, I mean, it's gonna come, and it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait. What a journey it's been for him. And overall, like, this has still been a really fun build for Bound for Glory. So lots of great matches still to be announced. We'll of course be keeping eyes on it, and let you guys know what happens next week, because it seems like even more is you guys are going to be live, right? I believe
we are live. This Thursday.
Hell yeah!
I head out tomorrow.
Where at?
Or today when you're watching this, Minneapolis. First time ever.
Ooh,
I believe.
I went there for the X Games a couple years ago. I did Apex Legends at the X Games. There was a really fun little city center area there.
Dude, Minneapolis is cool.
Yeah, I like that place. And it's very nice. Very nice. All right, cool. Well, there you have it. TNA live this Thursday. You're going to hear Matt live on commentary. And for our final point of business to handle today, we talk about one of the more businessy factions in AEW. No, I'm not talking about the Hurt Syndicate Business Corporation. No, instead I'm talking about the Don Callis family, who seem to have become kind of a main character in AEW. It's, Don Callis has always been rarely front and center for a while now, but the actual team of the Don Callis family has started to really make some moves. One of the big things is they are collecting gold. They are going through the motions, but they're not just collecting.
And members.
Let's
roll multiplying like rabbits.
Let's roll through the list of Don Callis family members, shall we? Here we go. In the roster, leading it, obviously, is the human thumb himself, Don Callis, but he has Brian Cage, who we haven't seen for a while. Hope he's good. Mark Davis, another guy we haven't seen for a while. Same thing there. Lance Archer, who actually has taken quite a center stage role in this team, is kind of like the main or like the big enforcer. But then they picked up returning Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero, which is the new what do they go? RPG, Roppongi Vice, but
Roppongi Vice.
they're just now called RPG now. They got Hechicero from CMLL, which I believe came from a trade or something like that. I don't know the lore on that shit. Then, of course, the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, which I would argue the basis of the entirety of the Don Callis family has been built around. Then you got Kyle Fletcher, who's kind of become Don's favorite boy toy. Both that it sounds weird and it was meant to be weird. Just want to be clear here because it is weird. And then they just signed Wardlow to the team. Josh Alexander was a pickup. And then they freaking got Okada. So, and it looks like they could end up even getting the Young Bucks, maybe. We don't know. I don't know how that one's going to go. So that's a whole lot of people to be in this family. But I would argue that, like, they're all involved in stuff outside of the two that haven't really been on TV for a little while, which I don't know the reasons why. Whether it's in, like, multi-man matches or whatever. But, yeah, the Don Callis family is, like, a front and center character in this in AEW right now. And they're going after Hangman. So I guess the question is, you know, how does Hangman fit? Where would you like to see, or rather, who would you like to see face Hangman in the Don Callis family? Because it's very clear that's where they're going. I just don't know who that person would be, given what we have right now.
I mean, it could be, it could be any number. There's a lot of big time players in the Don Callis family. We talk about Takeshita all the time, but like this past week really made me feel, with the way that promo broke down, you know, with the brawl that broke down, it felt very team oriented as opposed to title challenger setup.
Okay.
So like, I don't know if there's we're always waiting for the announcement of the next, like, you know, Blood and Guts. Is this a Don Callis family versus Hangman and friends type of, you know, Hangman? We saw the kind of reunite of him and Kenny Omega. Yeah. And of course, Speedball or whatever it is, or no, not Speed, Jet Speed. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
They got involved, you know, as well. So like, could we see some kind of team like that? You know, again, whether it's a Blood and Guts or just some kind of big tag team showdown, sort of deal. So yeah, I don't know. Any one of them. Takeshi's one. Okada's one who could come after the title. Kyle Fletcher could try to add another strap, go for double gold. I mean, Josh Alexander getting a swing at the champ.
He's been picking up a lot of
contenders.
He's been getting a lot of wins lately. Specifically, like I've been noticing, like he'll come out with, they've been doing like these joint entrances, right, for the wrestlers, but then he'll come out and he'll get the win specifically. So it does feel like Josh Alexander's just continuing to like build his reputation in the family, if you will. It also, there was a promo with Josh Alexander where he called out Kenny Omega specifically. So I would like to see maybe Josh Alexander versus Kenny Omega. Like if it was like a singles just match, like a little feud, I'm all about that. Please, that would be amazing. I mean, the Hangman one, because I'm trying to think like, from the people who came out, right? I'm looking at who's like, even in this picture, it's kind of hard to see, but you got Hechicero, you have Lance Archer, you have Rocky Romero here, but then you have Josh Alexander. And I'm like, you could make a case where a situation where Josh Alexander like maybe gets the pin on Hangman and then out of nowhere we end up with just a little one-off title match, right, for him, just someone for Hangman to face off against, further this whole Don Callis family interaction, right? Jake, any thoughts?
I don't think that it needs to, like, I don't know that the Don Callis family is looking for the one to take on Hangman. I think they're just looking for one. Like everybody else could just be, you know, cannon fodder of like, feed him to Hangman until we wear him down, and then whoever gets the title gets the title. Like I could see them doing something like that. Like it could, you know, it's just another group that he has to take on. After having to deal with the Death Riders, who are now kind of dealing with their own thing now. So this is just another pain in the ass group that Hangman's gonna have to deal with. So I literally think it's just gonna be that didn't work. Next. Like I can just see Don Callis like like almost treating it like a gauntlet match of like, okay, that one didn't work. Next guy up.
Hell, I would
Next
even like to
man
see them do that. I think it would be really cool to see him do like a gauntlet style match with the Don Callis family, where Hangman just is like, I'll
The
take
only
all of you guys on, you know?
That's fun. The only thing I don't like about those, especially given some of the talent in the Don Callis family, is you have a lot of those people then who end up like losing in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
clean to somebody like
they're not that fun. Yeah.
You have to. Yeah, like it's fun when it's super random, but like if you're just if he's beating Hechicero and then Lance Archer and then like some of those guys, I guess we can move on from it, but like I don't want to see 4 or 5 guys get beaten by one dude in a row. I think I want them to be more threatening, more menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean it more as in, and not necessarily just in, it's like, okay, this week this guy didn't work. Next,
yes,
week.
No, I get that,
and it just being this,
just
this being this line of like, now serving number like, and that's just, and Hangman's like, damn, how many people are in this family? Like, this is crazy.
And he just keeps adding more. There are some wild cards in this situation too that I did want to cover. One of those being MJF. He still has his contract. I believe they've had some interactions, Don Callis and MJF. I don't know if I necessarily think he's going to be willing to join the Don Callis family.
I don't.
But
I think he's had his fill of groups.
But if it gets him the belt, though, because the reason why I'm like not all that opposed to the idea of MJF working with Don Callis is because, firstly, like there is a clear pathway. Right. Don Callis has already said multiple times, I want the AEW world title. I want the AEW world title. And he knows that he's got an army of guys who can get it, but he's got a champion who's really good and it's going to be really tough to stop him. But if he could pick up a guy who's also really good and maybe just has a little bit more help out there, he might be able to get that belt into the Don Callis family. But then I think where I would like to see that story go is like MJF being like, no, this is my belt. And then Don Callis saying, no, that's the family's belt. And I think that's interesting. I think that could be compelling if they wanted to go in that direction, because you kind of get the vibe where it's like, yeah, MJF's like this great bad guy, but he's also got a good opportunity to lean back into that, shithead babyface kind of role. And, people want to cheer for him, but they do boo him. And so he's always been all over the place, but I don't know. I worked that one out in my head and I'm like, man, they're laying a lot of groundwork for things like Takeshita as well. Could be another solid option. Not a person to necessarily take the title off of Hangman, but maybe there's a situation where, Takesha's like, Don, why you keep overlooking me, dog? Like you're going after all these other people. I'm the alpha. What the hell happened to me? That's where I would like to see things go to kind of get movement with this team. What do you think, man?
The other thing too, could we be seeing whatever this leads to with the Don Callis family and Hangman? I mean, MJF is, to your point, is still in the wings.
Oh yeah, he's got the contract waiting.
Yeah. So remember, we talked about it before. Now that the new rule's in place, you got to give a notice. So it's not like you can cash in style, take someone after a match. But like, if this Don Callis thing does lead to whether it's a gauntlet or it is a blood and guts match that is violent and long and brutal, and Hangman wins, but he's limping to the victory, and then MJF comes on the screen and says,
yeah,
next week, bitch. I hope you recover fast. And then maybe MJF takes the title off him. You know what I mean? Or whatever
that
it
could
is.
be another way too. Yeah.
So this Don Callis fan, it could be some big collision that, from a story standpoint, not that they're doing it for MJF, but like that just ends up kind of clipping the knee, so to speak, of Hangman, which allows MJF to strike.
Yeah. I've enjoyed Hangman's run so far, with the little bits he's had, and the kind of babyface champion he is. It's actually been pretty fun,
Yeah.
He's not like Can he make a bad call? Sure, but he's not necessarily a gullible idiot, you know? Like I kind of felt like Cody was like that a couple of times in his run, where he just was like, I believe in your goodness, which is aligned with the Cody character. So it doesn't like stray too far off of that. But sure. I do like just, it's a little bit more of like a, you know, more Stone Cold like, if you will, you know, like not really caring about the circumstances, going for what they think is the right thing to do, and then beating the shit out of people along the way. It's been pretty fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, look, we'll keep eyes on the Don Callis family stuff. There were a couple other things to pull from AEW, but honestly, I think like we're gonna have a massive match next week, or rather tomorrow when this airs. We're gonna have a massive match, All-Star 8-man tag. I believe Kenny Omega is teaming up with Hangman and Jet Speed, and they're going to take on, I think it's like Takeshita, maybe Okada, Josh Alexander, and Hechicero or something. It's stacked. No, it's the Young Bucks, Kyle Fletcher, and Okada, I'm pretty sure. So regardless, it's going to be a stacked matchup. We'll see what happens. Maybe there's more movement from there, but it's clear for right now. Hangman is taking a detour with the Don Callis family, or not a detour, but his path is actually leading into the Don Callis family here. If you had to pick one person from the family to win the title, though, your choice, you can make the call right now. Who would it be? Jake? You got a big list to choose from.
I don't know.
I would say give it to Rocky Romero. Give it to Rocky Romero. Little schoolboy pin. 1, 2, 3. History's made. Give it to Asuka, please. You know,
hell, I like him honestly. So selfishly, sure. I would want Josh Alexander just because I know, Alexander. But he hasn't had the stock put in him yet. So, but dude, I'd say Takeshita. Crown, you know, that's somebody who I think is on the verge of a babyface run too. So he could maybe break out and win it. But yeah, those would be my choices.
I will assume too that will happen. If anything happens with Takeshita, it'll come after his match with what's his face, Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP title, because he is the G1 winner. I was going through, man. It's like you got G1 winner, you got a TNT champ on there, you got Unified champ. I could see them going for the trios titles as well. Like there's a lot of different things that they could do here. And Wardlow's now on the team. I don't know what happens with him. That it always seems to happen to the guy. I don't know.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, because I'm like, I was watching Dynamite.
Like probably an enforcer role, as I imagine, is what they're going to do with him.
But here's the thing: he's always an enforcer.
I know. I know.
Bro, I kid you not. You removed Don Callis from this picture, and you just put MJF there, and it's like the same thing. It's like the pinnacle one. So I just hope that he gets something to do. But it is nice to see him back. He's an American Gladiator after all, you know?
Yeah. Right.
So it's pretty dope. And that, of course, brings us to the end of our illustrious program. And to what can only be described as the greatest segment of all time. It is the Rebooked 24/7 Champion of the Week, where we talk about the things that brought us joy in the world of pro wrestling, whether it be or not pro wrestling, doesn't really matter. Just something made you happy. Let's I will give one here that I think is nice. I love the fact that we've normalized singing theme songs of wrestlers. That is just that's made me very
like
happy.
Audiences?
Yeah, like the audience singing the theme songs as they walk out. I love that shit. I think it is so great. Like the crowd was singing AJ's song, and then they started doing the "You Are Phenomenal" chant, which was amazing. Obviously, we have Jericho to thank, for that, right? Cope, right? Singing his song. John Cena. They were singing John Cena's song. Like they were like doing the whole lyrics and everything when he walked out. That was dope. I really like that. Who wants to go next?
Cool. I'll go. So I'm being selfish. My not official pick, but I'm just gonna shout out. I finally hopped on the bandwagon. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes. Yes.
It's been stuck in my head all day after watching it last night.
It's amazing.
Fantastic.
So good.
So that was fun. But my official pick, I shared a video in our Discord, is a shout out to this dog. Yes, it's just a dog, but I discovered this video. This dog is a boss. I did not see this video. I don't know if it's been around for months and in people's algorithms, but it's in like these dogs are fighting, and then this medium white dog, just everybody just bows down and respects this dog.
King
Charles. Like if you look up, it's like boss dog stops fight.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Unassuming, you see like there's this giant dog as this dog walks up, and the dog just like bows to him, and like it's just it brings the most badass energy, like Roman Reigns energy into this like this.
Yeah, I don't like seeing dogs fight, but seeing a dog shut it down. What a guy. King Charles.
Yeah, and like you see, like he stands over there. He doesn't like bite him. He doesn't attack him. He just literally stands over him. It's like, you knock that shit off.
Yeah, here, there's this. They like kind of show how it plays out, and then he just
that giant dog like bows to him. Like he's like, oh, I'm out of the way. I'm out of the way, man. And same with the big German Shepherd is like announces the arrival of King Charles, and then this
it's like when Omar comes through and on The Wire, and they start whistling.
Omar coming.
Omar coming.
Everybody's scattered.
King Charles coming. Look out!
Wow, that is impressive.
That's my champ.
Yeah. Wow. What a. How did you even find that? What you were just.
Yeah, that's a random find.
That's a random scroll. Yep.
That's a 2 a.m. doom scroll right there. That's what 100%. That is. Yeah, love that. Jake, what about for you? Yeah. What's your champ?
Well, I also have an official one and an unofficial one. I just sent you something for the unofficial one. If you want to pull that up. This weekend sucked. This weekend fucking sucked. It fucking sucked. Fuck. We lost. We got the shit kicked out of us. And this guy right here was shown on TV during the game.
Oof.
And just like, stop looking at me. Stop looking at me.
Oof.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
Oof. You hate to see it, kids.
That was you this weekend.
How you doing, Jake?
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm really fucking.
What happened?
You held all your efforts in.
This is not an Alabama team. I don't know who the fuck that was that went out there in our jerseys, but it wasn't a fucking Alabama team. Nobody gave a shit about being out there. Nobody gave any fucking effort. Maybe 2 people gave an effort. Jeremy Bernard, I'll give you a thumbs up because you gave some fucking effort, but not a fucking other person did. What a horseshit Alabama team that got fielded on Saturday. My God, what an embarrassment to the crimson and white uniform that you're wearing. No effort on that team. We had 18 missed tackles. Our fucking alleged first round offensive tackle had 6 pressures on the day. Ty Simpson can't throw the ball. The defense can't stop the same play being run over and over again. What are these coaches doing?
There it is.
Anyway,
so you had a good weekend, Jake, is what I'm.
No, I didn't. No, I had 3.
Wait, is that your unofficial pick?
That's my unofficial. That's my unofficial.
Your shitty weekend is your unofficial pick?
No, that dude is my unofficial.
Okay.
That specific guy.
That guy
is my unofficial. My official though is still college football related, and Scan called it in our writers' room a while back. But this weekend, Lee Corso retired from broadcast television. If you don't know who Lee Corso is, when they started the show College Game Day on ESPN in 1987, Lee Corso was on it. He has been on that show almost as long as I have been alive. Yes, that's him. He has been on that show almost as long as I've been alive.
Wow.
He is to college football what John Madden is to pro football.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's
Lee
awesome.
Lee Corso is like the mascot of college football. And every time, every game that they went to, their last pick of the day would be who is Corso picking. And he would always put on some costume or usually the mascot headgear for who he thought would win. over all this time, he got 67% of his picks correct.
Wow.
In his tenure on this show in 38 years.
Whoa.
Everybody loves him. He was always worth getting up to watch. And this weekend, he went 6 for 6 on all of his picks. He was the only person on the show to pick Florida State beating Alabama.
I just looked up Lee Caruso and found this shot. And
that's the final or one of the. But he picked the first time he ever did a headgear pick. He picked Ohio State. He picked him again on Saturday. They won. Every team that he chose won, and every team that Lee Corso either coached for or played for also won this weekend.
Wow.
So that's just a little like college football magic. As soon as I realized, oh shit, we're playing Lee Corso's alma mater on the day that he's retiring, I didn't feel good about it from the start.
Oh, so he was,
and Florida it turns State. Out that I was.
He was a Florida State guy.
He actually he was a defensive back. He held the record for most interceptions in a career at Florida State until it was broken by Deion Sanders.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But Lee Corso, he had a stroke a few years ago and was kind of hard for him to be on the show. And everyone has just kind of taken him under their wing and been so good to him. And he's just a great guy. So that's got to be my 24/7 champion is Lee Corso.
You know, I gotta say
the mascot of college football.
As a broadcaster, I will co-sign that.
We love a legend.
Yep. We love celebrating legends, especially in our field, because you know, there are a lot of shitty people out there who work on camera, who find a lot of success and get celebrated, and sometimes celebrate a little too much. So I think, you know, in the instance of individuals who clearly have had not just a profound impact, but a positive impact in their space, I think it is very important to honor those folks. So, Lee, this is for you, buddy. Congratulations.
Here.
You won the most illustrious award in the world, the Rebooked 24/7 Champion of the Week. All right, everyone.
But if Kalen DeBoer
here we go.
and Kane Womack and Ryan Rubb don't get their shit together, I'm gonna lose it.
We can't do this. We can't do this. All right. Otherwise, we'll have the college football fans attacking us, and I'm not mentally equipped to handle that. Okay, folks. That's going to do it for us this week. Some housekeeping notes. I won't be here next week. I have a family event to go to. I'm going to meet my nephew for the first time. So I am really excited. So I won't be here, but Jake and Matt have you covered. And we'll, of course, there's going to be some other news coming up down the line just to, you know, kind of temper expectations. We're going to take a little bit of a break because I have a big event coming up in Paris, and I'm going to be gone for a hot minute. So I'm not trying to brag, okay? Damn it. I'm just sharing information, Jake. Okay. I'll tell you what, while I'm in Paris, I'll watch college football out there. I'll support you. Okay.
No, you won't. You don't watch it here. No. Don't fucking. No, don't patronize me.
Damn.
Don't patronize me.
The utter sadness in your voice breaks my heart, and I owe you one now. That I do owe you one. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for us. If you happen to enjoy this, please let us know. You can comment down below. We had some awesome comments last week. I apologies for not getting to it. We will make sure that we cover comment feedback next week. I kind of rolled through it. That's my bad. But yeah, feel free to join us at rebookedpod.com. You can also join our Discord. Find the information in the description down below. You can also check us out across all of social media. All you got to do is go to rebookedpod.com. Simple as that. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Peace.